Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. So finally, my Cox hose reel came in for my new pressure washer setup that I have over here. This is the Active 2.0 pressure washer from Obsessed Garage. I started this whole thing, kind of getting everything set up about 2 months ago. I used to run a Greenworks 2000 pressure washer that I got from Home Depot about 4, 5, 6 years ago. And that was about 60 bucks. It was on clearance. And I snagged that and it's been fine ever since, but I've been meaning to upgrade to a very, very nice kind of setup. So I went with the Active 2.0. I got everything set up about a month and a half ago, and I've been waiting for the Cox hose reel. So as you can see, I have the Obsessed Garage reel plate on the wall and everything. So everything's ready to go. So this is what we were actually waiting on. This was on back order for quite some time. Now these things come in 3 different colors, actually 4 different colors. They come in black, blue, gray, and they also have a full stainless version, which is pretty darn expensive. But this is the black version, obviously. Was on back order since this seems to be the most popular for me. I just like the black. I think it just looks cleaner. The blue is really clean as well, but for me, I just always think black looks a little bit cleaner overall. So decided to go with that one. And of course, it was on back order for, I think, almost 2 months. But it is here now, and we are ready to mount it up. So there's multiple ways to actually mount this. But as I mentioned, as we come over here, I purchased the Obsessed Garage Cox hose reel mounting plate. So it literally is just a plate that you can mount to the wall. Pretty self-explanatory. And then there's these 4 screws here that actually bolt right up to the Cox hose reel bracket. So really simple, really easy. And you know, this was about $100 for this plate. It's really cool. It's got a nice Obsessed Garage logo over here kind of etched in there. So really subtle, really nice, and it matches the Obsessed Garage stainless steel shelving and everything. So I'm excited to kind of get this up and running. Now, as I mentioned in previous videos of my kind of pressure washer setup, this is temporary. My wife and I do plan on making a near future move. So this is going to be kind of disassembled and put up in the new garage eventually. But I just wanted to at least get it up for now and try it out and see what I think. So that's kind of why it's a little janky at this point, but I think it's going to work for what we got going on right now. I also have the Mosmatic pressure washer gun and everything, and their wand. Beautiful setup. This is the advanced package. So there's basic, advanced, and then ultimate. I went with the advanced since everything comes with stainless fittings, as you can see up here. Really, really nice, and I'm really happy I went with that package. Ultimate, the only difference is you get a OG spec Mosmatic wand. So as you can see down here, this is brass. If you got the Obsessed Garage one, that is stainless. It's a stainless steel fitting inside that Obsessed Garage gets custom done for them. It does have a Obsessed Garage plate on the side as well. So it is nice, but I just didn't find the need, and I felt that the advanced package was more than enough for what I use this for, which is just washing my cars. So I also got the pressure washer hose, 100-foot hose with the garden hose as well as the jumper as well. So we are all set. So what we're going to do in this video is finish up this pressure washer install, get everything kind of tidied up. So there is some assembly required before we get started. As you can see, there is a handle right here. Really simple, obviously. It's just a screw and a bolt, or a nut, I should say. It goes right into the side right here, and that is it. This has a nice drag on the side here as well, so when you go to take the pressure washer hose out, you let the drag out and you're able to pull it. Then when you're storing the hose and everything, you just tighten up the drag and it won't just loosen and fall down to the ground. So really nice little feature. And yeah, the quality of this thing is pretty insane. A little overkill, but if you're like me and obsessed about this kind of stuff and enjoy the finer things when it comes to washing cars, it definitely is right up my alley, or maybe up your alley as well. So let me go ahead, let me get the handle all situated, then we can get to putting it on the wall. so we got the reel mounted up. I decided to put the handle on this side. I was originally planning on putting it on this side, but I didn't realize for whatever reason you can choose which side. And this is actually good because the jumper hose, which is right here, it's a short hose that comes from the actual pressure washer down to the little elbow right here. And I was kind of mocking some things up and I was leaving it there, and it would have looked a little funny, just kind of, I don't know, it looked a little too big for the area. So by doing it this way, I'm going to hook it up there, and I'm probably going to see if I can mount it underneath or something, kind of do it a little bit more clean instead of having just coming straight down. This way it'll be a little bit more, I don't want to say hidden, but a little bit more cleaned up in a way, kind of wire management in a way. So I'm going to see what I can do, but the way to hook this up is pretty simple. As you can see, this has a threaded end, and this goes directly into that little elbow that we installed on the Cox hose reel. And then on the pressure washer side, there is the pressure washer inlet right here, or the outlet, I should say. And this just uses the connection. All this stuff comes with the kit, so you don't have to do any guessing or running to Home Depot or your hardware store. So you put one of these, and then you're going to use the other side of this, which is a quick disconnect, right onto that. And then you're going to actually connect that connection right onto here. So as you can see, that's threaded. That's going to go right on there. And that's going to have a quick disconnect on that side. And this is going to be screwed in. And I don't want to say permanently there, but it's going to be there. You're not going to want to use a quick disconnect on there anyway. So I'm going to put some Teflon tape on here, make sure all the seals are good. And then we can go ahead and actually wind up the hose and get it looking proper. And then we should be able to wrap this up. All right, so I got things just kind of loosely hooked up. I got this tightened down, so everything is good there. But I'm trying to debate if I should flip this around and do it the original way that I mentioned, because I can't really, I'm trying to see if I can maybe bolt it up there or something. It does come with some little rubber hose clamps kind of, so you can actually probably do something about that. But I'm thinking maybe if I do it straight down, I'll be able to kind of tack it onto here directly, because it sticks out pretty far from the pressure washer, so there's really not much room or flexibility to kind of put it where you want it. So I'm actually going to try to flip this around, put the handle on that side. It's gonna be a little tight, but I'll still be able to get my hand back there to reel it in. Let me just try that position, see what I think, and then maybe we'll go back to this if this is better. But it's better to do it now than to wrap up the 100 foot of hose on here and then realize that I want to do the other way. So I'm gonna go ahead, flip this around and see what I think, and then I'll let you guys know what I come up with. All right, so I spent the last like 10-15 minutes flipping this around, trying things out, and unfortunately it doesn't work. The handle actually comes in contact with that 2x4 there, which is not a big deal. And I also do like it this way because it actually shows the Cox hose reel logo here, and I just think it looks cleaner. The other side, can't really see it, but there is nothing, and it is easier obviously with the handle here. Although I'll have to try to figure something out here where I can kind of tuck it underneath and just do a little bit cleaner, but that'll work for now. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Again, this is temporary. I got to keep reminding myself that. The way that I am, I always tend to take it a step further when I don't necessarily need to, but I'm trying my best just to do it simple and not get too crazy with it right now. But all right, so we got that resolved. So now what we're actually going to do is install the hose. So pretty simple. As you can see, one side I put some Teflon tape on there, and the other side has a quick disconnect. So on the inside, you can see right there, there is a threaded hole. There's a piece of tape on there right now, so I will pull it off. As you can see the threaded hole right there, and we're just simply going to route the threaded end of the pressure washer hose right into there. And then there's a little rubber grommet right here where you can hook up the actual hose so it stays in place, and then we can wrap it up nice and neat. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. It's gonna be kind of hard to get tools in there or a wrench in there to tighten it up, but I'll get it done and I'll show you what it looks like. and then we can finally wrap this hose up and see what it looks like complete. So I got the line started. The tip of this actually spins on its own, but it's just going to take a little while because you can't really get a big tool in there to tighten this down. Plus I need 2 hands to hold the reel, but that is what you're looking at. You kind of just put it on the nut here and twist. As you can kind of see, sorry I wasn't able to get a good angle, but I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this down as tight as I can get it with my wrench. And then, like I said, there's a little rubber grommet here that's going to connect there so it holds it into place. Then we can go ahead and wrap this up and we can do some testing, making sure this all works. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to get that done tonight, but I will do my best to get everything at least set up. Obviously, in a few days, once I get some time, we'll be doing a test on the STI, the Telluride, or the truck. We'll see what needs a wash. Actually, the truck needs a wash very, very badly. So it might be that, but let me go ahead and get this tightened down and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so I got the pressure washer line attached nice and tight, and then went ahead and attached the little rubber grommet over here. Pretty simple. So now we're just going to wrap it up. I'm gonna do it nice and neat, exact same way that Matt does it from Obsessed Garage, since I love that. And it will always be that neat every single time I wrap it up, because I'm gonna take the time to make sure it looks good and all wrapped up. Plus this is a 100-foot hose, and I'm never gonna need 100 feet, or at least I'm never gonna reel it out that far. So it's gonna stay pretty clean at all times. But let me go ahead, wrap this up, and see what it looks like. So I got the hose reeled up. I actually did a quick little test run just to make sure there were no leaks, and we are good. No leaks anywhere, and I'm very, very happy with it. Now the power cable, I just have it ran over to the outlet over there. I do plan on putting one probably up here. I could just tap into this line, which would be really easy. So I'm gonna get that done another day. But for now, I'm just really happy with the whole setup. Really, really clean, and I'm loving this reel. It really cleans everything up. And I think with the shortened power line, once I get that situated up there, you know, I'll cut the wire and make it nice and short. I'll probably maybe put it over there or something so you can't even see it. But I figured might as well in this video we'll do a little test, because I would hate to leave you guys hanging. But it's not going to really show much currently since I'm not going to be foaming the car or anything like that. But I just wanted to show you the performance of it, I guess the overall volume of it, which is much quieter than my old setup, which is really nice. I really did want a quieter setup because the Greenworks was fairly loud. I do need to mount the Active 2.0 onto the shelf somehow. One of my buddies actually mentioned to use some E-ZPass Velcro, because I don't want to drill into that and you know, ruin the shelf, because it is a beautiful shelf and also expensive. So I don't want to drill into it and make any holes. So what I'm going to do is probably just get some of that E-ZPass tape and you know, just stick it on there and it should be good. But let me go ahead and do a little test for you guys just so you can see it working and functioning. So let's go ahead. So it definitely feels like it's putting out more water than the Greenworks, which to be expected it should. And yeah, so I'm really, really happy with that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get the water line away. If you guys don't know, I have a hose just right outside the garage right here. So all I gotta do is just connect it up into that. This kit does come with a garden hose or a shorty that you can tap into your water line if you do have one on the wall or something like that. I don't have a use for it currently. I'm sure I will in the new garage at some point. I plan on getting a water line into the garage. As I mentioned, I'm going to do a much cleaner setup overall in the new one. But for now, this will work just fine. And it's got a little valve on here so I could just turn it off and a quick disconnect. So super simple to clean up. I literally just turn off that little lever right there, disconnect, let all the water out of the actual lines, which I normally do, and yeah, and that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up, and then we can wrap this video up. All right, so that is a wrap of the Active 2.0 wall mount solution, at least my solution. Now, one thing I did extra, just because I live in the Northeast and it does get cold, I don't have a heated garage. I mean, I do have a heater right there, but it's not on all the time. Technically, it really doesn't freeze in here. The lowest it really gets is around 45 when it's really, really cold out. So I'm not too concerned, but still, I just want to do this as a precaution. Now, leaving water in lines is obviously not a good thing. So I disconnected it from the actual pressure washer and let all of the water drain out of that, so I'm not leaving water in the lines with the potential to freeze and cause damage to the pump or the hose. So I'll probably just leave that disconnected when I'm not using it. In the summertime, obviously I'll leave it connected, but winter, I don't use it as often, so I'm not going to be needing it connected at all times. But overall, this thing is fantastic, a beautiful, beautiful piece of machinery, and I feel very lucky and fortunate that I was able to pick one up. And now that I have one in my garage as my setup, I'm very, very pleased. I've always wanted one of these, and it's so nice. Very pleased with it. So thanks to Matt from Obsessed Garage for sourcing it and supplying it, and also doing all the headway and all the work to kind of get everything dialed in the way that he does with all the fittings and everything. It's really, really simple, and I'm happy to finally have a decent setup in the garage. Now I can wash my cars with more enjoyment than I already do. So that has got to wrap it up for this one, guys. If you do have any questions at all about the pressure washer setup or anything else at all, be sure to ask them below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.